So for us, we've been working with this PCI standard for a long time, PCI DSS. Its original incarnation was 2004, but before that there were other standards that kind of became what PCI is today. And it's a big year for PCI because it's a new version being released. So they switched it. The last time they did a release, they said, we're only releasing every 3 years now instead of every 2 years. So they lengthened the release cycle, which means that there's obviously potential for a lot more things to change and more stuff to get in there. And it's a release year. So there's a lot of critical stuff that, if you have to deal with PCI on a day-to-day basis, there are things that are going to change.
So the biggest thing that I wanted to accomplish with this presentation was to provide some clarity around what's coming out in the new version of the PCI DSS. They have a very long rollout schedule. It goes from August to November, where they slowly reveal what's behind the curtain. And as that happens, there's a large degree of uncertainty about how it's going to impact your business, how you're going to adjust and react to it, and providing just a little bit of what we saw as the important parts of those changes, I thought could help get some clarity for everybody who's out there to understand what they should focus on.
So 2.0 is active until the end of next year. So all this noise that we're making is so you can be ready on January 1, 2015. There are some requirements that are best practice until July 2015. So really the issue is, like, if you have a requirement to comply with PCI, then you should be doing some sort of a gap analysis now, because you need to understand what changes you're going to have to implement over the next 1 to 2 years, so that when that actual assessment comes through, you're able to do it. I would say that PCI today is typically treated as something from a compliance standard where it's something I have to do, and I'm going to do the absolute minimum that I have to do in order to get by, and I'm going to look for assessors that are going to give me the easiest pass, and I just don't want to do it at all. And while I would say that we see a lot of customers that do that, and as long as you're not the one that gets breached, then you're probably okay. I would say that there are a lot of better strategies focusing on information security pieces, as well as focusing on outsourcing and other types of security things you can do to the credit card information, so it's just not even a problem for you anymore.
I think the biggest advice that I would give someone is to make sure that you budget enough time to adjust to the changes. It's not something that is going to be done in one day. There's going to be things that you're going to have to manage over the course of several weeks or a month in different projects that are going to spin off of this, and not to underestimate the time that it's going to take. While there may not be major technology changes that are going to be required, it is going to require time to administrate the changes that are in the new standard.